this may have very well been the best day of my life. Like, I remember thinking that to myself. I think this may have been the best day of my life because I knew that it's just people in a room. Like, we're all just here picking up crack and smoking crack. Like, no one's worse than anyone else. Like, oh, we're just all here together smoking crack. There's just a lot of absolute nonsense. Like, I don't actually fuck with you.
You're dirty and you're rude.
Right. Welcome to the Any Last Words pod. My name is Earl Lonnie Hooks. A very, very special thanks to everybody that will be joining us today on SoundCloud, Spotify, Apple, as well as YouTube. And please do not forget to follow us at ALW Pod on Instagram. The God in me honors the God in each and every one of you. Today we have Marie. She is back with us today.
Thank you.
I believe it was episode 88. PEG 80 Sorbitan Laurate, I believe was the episode. Sometimes I can just pull these.
I was going to say, it amazes me every single time that you can remember that.
I think that's that.
For sure.
But we need to get down to what matters. Our good friend Mikey and Danny had a baby.
Yes, they did.
As a lot of people have referred to it, a whole baby.
A whole baby.
And we were honored with being able to hold said baby.
Wow.
How do you feel?
Well, as you were able to tell, I really did have some sort of spiritual experience with this baby because I thought that I had held a newborn baby before. It turns out I most certainly had not.
Oh, wait, you thought that you did?
Yeah, because I've been around babies my whole life, all different ages. I mean, super, super young. And for some reason, like, it had never been a 2-week-old baby. Like, I knew that.
Oh, okay.
I was like, this looks like a fake baby.
It was
like all the babies that I've held have been like maybe like a month.
It didn't look very fake to me.
I mean, she was real, but I mean in size, like she looked like she didn't look like an average baby because obviously she wasn't. Yeah. But yeah, she was just so perfect and tiny and new. Like she just looked so brand new. There wasn't a single blemish on her.
Yeah,
she was beautiful.
That's like when people say when they can see the purity in babies. It's like what we were saying. It's like this baby knows no pain. Nothing. It knows no discomfort. Like it's just, as Mikey said, just floating through this universe. Like people just pass it to the next person. It's just floating and love. Everything is comfortable.
Oh my goodness!
But you're just, you're stretching and
it's so sweet.
Like you just stretching through your sleep.
Right.
Like nothing disrupts this baby, this particular baby at this particular time.
Smiling throughout her stretches.
Yeah.
No, it was so sweet.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, no, so I was extremely honored that Danny allowed me to have that moment. Yeah. That was very, very nice of them.
You said a spiritual moment.
It was beautiful.
Yeah, because you kept saying a lot of very strong things and like your face was very, very strong when you were saying them. Like,
I meant
you had full, like total conviction.
Yeah, for sure.
In the things that you were saying. Like, you were looking people in their eyes and saying things like,
I looked them maybe straight in the
okay, so like, I think I cracked the code. Like for the people, for the people that just have 10 children and, they're not necessarily stable enough to do it. Like, I feel like there's a very good chance that they get caught up in this as an addiction. Mm-hmm. This being a newborn and looking at this, but I do think that is it, and we've talked about this really before. Is that a lot of time it is just the love of looking at this pure little being that relies totally on you. It cannot do anything, and as we spoke about, it is something innate in us, or I believe probably ought to be, and if it's not, like you got to kind of look out for those people. But it's an innate ability to where when we see it, it's a connection. Exactly. And it's like protect this thing at all costs. Yeah, it's a very, very wild experience.
Yeah, because me holding this baby that I have zero connection to, this baby is not related to me in the slightest. I felt like I would protect this baby and also stare at this baby for the rest of my life with no problem.
Yeah.
And I was like, if I was Danny, if I was the mom, that's crazy.
Yeah.
That must be the most insane connection. Like, I have no idea what that must feel like. Mm-hmm. But I know that it would be phenomenal.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Again, like, if you... I mean, because this is also something that we had to point out was that this click, unfortunately, does not happen with everyone. Where everyone feels like they're reborn, or like, oh, like this could be the most profound connection with a human being that I'll ever have the chance of having, because you're starting from the ground up. Like, oh shit, that realization doesn't wash over everyone.
It's true.
And maybe I should say to the same degree, but maybe sometimes it just don't really hit people. Like a baby comes out and just like, okay, like that happens. So if you pay attention and you like care for it a whole lot, and you put time and effort into figuring out how to be a better person for that thing, and you know, you grow up and you try to instill good qualities about them, and you listen to them as they talk to you and all that sort of stuff. Hopefully, like, I mean, that goes well, you know.
Yeah, you would hope.
But it just doesn't always click. Often it doesn't click. I got plenty of friends and myself, just like with parents, and it was like something just didn't like something didn't click there. So it can be weird. Like, my mom, like my biological mom, I believe so she had to be out of my life immediately. And when I mean immediately, like, I was no longer living with her, at least by the age of 5. Because at that point, I was in Manassas going to Weems Elementary. So, like, that was like a start of a new life. So, yeah, like, and it was just for a lot of crazy ass reasons. Like, she was going through some stuff, but I think that was before they understood postpartum depression.
Right.
I think that was before that was like really big. Yeah, so they didn't understand like what was going on with her and why she was running around doing a bunch of crazy shit at the time when she should have been raising children. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
but it was just like wild shit going on, man. No, honestly, this is the funniest thing ever.
I know you've told me some stories.
No. This is the funniest fucking thing ever. Okay. Just imagine this.
Oh man.
There was hold on.
Okay.
Hold on, because this is funny, man. This is funny. I hope he doesn't get upset for me telling this, because this is pretty funny.
Okay.
Imagine this. Like, my dad at one point put pots and pans around the house. He put pots and pans around the house because he wanted to know, like, when she came in the house at night. Like, he wanted to know, like, when she was coming home and exactly how she was doing it. She would tiptoe around the pots and pans and find a way to her room and go to sleep, right? Man. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part to me has been the fact that she never said anything about the fact that she would come in the house and there were pots and pans everywhere throughout the house. Like, she never raised that point. That's crazy.
That's pretty wild.
You know what I'm saying?
It's because she kind of knew, like, what was up. Like, she understood what the deal was here, and it's that, hey, I'm not supposed to be doing this. So
my only point here is that sometimes that thing that we're talking about,
right? Exactly.
Just doesn't wash over every, location of consciousness out there. Like, sometimes people just miss that. They don't get that upgrade, that update.
Right.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. No, but that was a really cool experience.
Yeah, no,
it was so nice. Smart. I could feel like it was just like its head was just laying comfortably in the palm of my hand. Yeah,
your hands are quite large, so she fit literally
so
right in
peaceful. And then again, just thinking about
that was amazing.
What perception is for this small baby. Like, you're sleeping this whole time. That dreaming must be insane.
Yeah, because it's nonstop. Like, she's moving and making faces and it's like noises.
Smiling, and then like something will kind of like shock her.
Her eyes closed, like shut really tight, and then she kind of opens them. Bruh. It's amazing.
You know that they're going through the craziest trip ever.
No, it looks amazing in there.
It's just nothing. It's just like unfiltered, unbridled consciousness.
Right.
Like, that's kind of what it is. I mean, it's still morphing, but there's something pure about its level of maturity.
Right.
Right? Like, that's crazy, because I just wonder what the pictures look like. Like, how does it... Are things described in colors or shapes? Like, because they don't have concepts of colors and shapes, right? So... Or do they? Like, what is some of this stuff inherent? Like, what does it look like in there? You know what I mean? Like, I literally have, if they have no traditional training of like geometry or colors or ideas, what the fuck is going on in there? I think this is the first time I've ever thought about this.
Well, I haven't thought about this, but I've thought about the transitioning between the womb in the outside world, because you're alive like that day that you're born in the womb.
Yeah,
like you're conscious, and then in a moment you're outside in the rest of the world, and you will never go back. Like, that must feel so different, and I wonder what that must feel like.
Oh yeah, I guess so. If
all you've ever known is living in liquid and in all these different substances and matter.
Yeah, that is what they've tried to do on certain movies when they try to give you that visual of what it may look like to come out of a vagina.
Yeah, that's never done it for me. I was like,
no, but that's the closest we get, like visually, that we can kind of think about, is like there's like this fucking opening and you're sliding out, and then it's a whole different place. Yeah, no, you know what? It's funny that you say that.
Okay.
Because we also, both of these things, though, by the way, this whole holding this baby experience and this next thing I'm gonna talk about, are both rooted in talking about things that like matter, right? So we also got a chance to watch the very first episode of How to Change Your Mind.
Correct.
I've talked about this book a few times on here, but How to Change Your Mind by Michael Pollan. I think the subtext or subtitle is something like what modern science, I think, tells us about psychedelics and fear, anxiety, depression, death, and something else. But it's a great fucking book.
It really is.
And I was telling Mikey, he would like it. He would like it the whole way through. I think I might do better if I read it again. But the first is split up into thirds. And the first third of the book is about the history of psychedelics and where it comes from. All that sort of stuff that was kind of in episode 1. Then the second third of it is his experientialism with psychedelics. Then the third is the neurology behind it. So the second 2/3, like, I was good with, like, I love that sort of stuff. But like getting through history, a lot of times it's just like a ton of fucking names and places and dates and research titles and stuff like that. And I for some reason, it just doesn't usually connect with me. I need like a Malcolm Gladwell type of story to wrap me up in history.
Okay.
But I feel like some of these psychedelic experiences that people have and they talk about and you hear on the show, because they're in like, I mean, what do you call it? They're in like medical facilities getting these things done, and some of them not. But either way,
medical trials.
I think that medical trials. They're going through things that are similar to that. That's how I have felt about it. There was a time when I looked at the world a certain way. And then there was a lot of thinking and a lot of book reading and a lot of soul searching, and then a psilocybin experience down in Florida, and I just know that from that day things hadn't been the same. Nothing was the same.
Right.
Right? Like it was just things were different from that point forward. And it felt like going into a new world. Like the old world was done with. Like you just don't see anything the same anymore. You don't see colors the same anymore. You don't see people, relationships, like everything. You don't see yourself the same anymore, right. Which is most important. Well, one, I shouldn't say this. This was my experience again, because a lot of people don't go through this like deep experientialism or existentialism at all.
Right.
They just like see really cool stuff dancing on the walls and shit like that. But yeah, I think that whatever the fuck this baby's going through, I think that deep psychedelic, meditational, shamanistic, medical facility corresponded type of deal, I think those can open you up to like a whole new, like you coming out the womb. Like you're being born again into a completely different world. Like, oh, this was not what the fuck I was looking at before. This is not what this was nothing like it was before. I think that's like the closest thing we can get to whatever Maven's going through
Maven.
Right now.
Love that name.
Yeah. Connoisseur, expert. Maven.
I love that. No, they did a phenomenal job with that. That was well done.
Oh, man.
Yeah, no, those are quite amazing. Those are quite amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, it was psychedelics though, man. I'm excited because the first episode is on LSD, and then I think it goes to psilocybin, and then MDMA, and then I forgot what the last one was.
Oh yeah.
But either way, it's interesting that like, what is the world gonna be like if like this sort of information continues to get out? Like, what do you think? Because we both know people that do or have done psychedelic drugs, and there are probably certain character qualities that we could compare, right, and sort of match between these people. So there seems to be certain qualities about people that do psychedelic drugs. I don't think that they're usually angry people, right?
Right.
I usually don't think that they're like super arrogant. But again, these are just things that I'm saying. These are just people that I've met.
Right.
Usually pretty kind, thoughtful. Like these are usually characteristics.
No, for the most part.
So I'm just wondering if this sort of information continues to be disseminated through Netflix or whatever the case, Joe Rogan Experience, whatever. If more people are going to just like be open to trying to find psilocybin, ayahuasca, DMT, like all these sort of things, and like what it's going to bring people and what civilization is going to look like or feel like 10 to 20 years from now because of the influx of a population of people taking psychedelic drugs. Like that would be an interesting thing to see.
I think with time passing, the generation that will be more accepting of these things is only going to keep growing.
Oh yeah, because these kids.
So yeah, because they're starting young.
Are these? Yeah, but are they doing psychedelics though? I really feel like pills
I think you're exposed to a lot more content that has to do with that than we ever were. And especially
well, yeah, that's for sure.
Like, because now you can get on Netflix and watch that.
Yeah, that's very true.
So.
Yeah. I guess so. But then where would you get it, though?
I mean, as you get older, you end up figuring out who has...
Yeah, as you get older, though, you think that they're slanging, like, LSD and shrooms in high school?
I mean, maybe not, but I'm saying that now that this is something that people are growing up with, knowing that psychedelics are available and what resources they could be.
Like, pills are easy to get.
Yeah.
Because the doctors give them to you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to know somebody that's got, like, the shrooms
Well, I mean, you can buy shrooms from like the DC.
That's very true.
Like you can just order it on my phone.
Yeah, see,
I can just pick which shrooms I want.
Yo, man, look at the world, man.
Yeah,
you can just go get some shrooms.
Crazy. Yeah, they're available.
Are they like? They sell them in eighths? Do you know what they sell them in?
I'm assuming, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, they seem to have a plethora of options too.
Wow, man. People out here getting their mind blown.
Yeah, because I think it's different. Because drugs for us were way more underground. Mm-hmm. Like it had to be a lot sketchier than it ever had been before. And now you can just order it on your phone and make a donation, and someone gives you like a cool backpack and they say, hey, thanks, have a good day.
Yeah, like
and you leave with your
and I'm completely, I swear I am, because I know what I'm about to say is going to be contradictory.
Oh, man.
No, I'm completely cool with all this super like cool convenience. I really am. Like, I think that's awesome. Okay. There was something cool about things having to be sort of sketchy when you were a kid. Like you like had to go through sketchy means to get to the end. And like I was telling someone the other day, like writing notes in class. Like instead of having to send text, like actually taking out sheets of paper, writing whole notes or someone. It could be like the feeling of one of these wild origami folded notes hitting your desk and it's got like a pink heart on it. Right. It's like, oh shit, like somebody in here fucking with me. Oh shit. And like having to like, you know what I mean? Be cool and like slap your hand on the desk and like slide it over to you. And like you had to open up a book or a binder or something like that so you could sort of like open up the piece of paper and like act like it's some science work or whatever and like kind of like read it, and then you're gonna be happy because it's a love note. So you read a note and then you gotta write your own note and fold it up back, and you gotta get it back to this person. That doesn't necessarily mean that the person's right next to you. You might have to pass it through 2 or 3 other kids to get it over to that person. That's a long way for this note to go, and nobody can fuck this up. Like the teacher can't see any of these 4 or 5 kids about to pass this note, or else the note's taken. Now the teacher got my love letter. You know what I'm saying? Like that sort of that sort of operation in a classroom amongst children was dope. Now I just like send you a text message. Like you gonna get the text message. Ain't no risk in that for real. You can ignore it. You can thumbs it down. You can do whatever you want with it. Yeah, it's not the same, man. Like some you can laugh at some of the sketchiness, just some of it's different. I just like it, or I liked it as a kid. Yeah, man. I want certain boundaries to be there. Like I want to have to get through some type of obstacles. I don't want everything to just be laid out for me. I respect that, but I also just didn't like going through that many obstacles because it was always an odyssey. It's like, hey man, like I'm trying to give you some money for some things, and now like we're at a place and cops are driving right in front of us, and you say this is the only place you can go to, and I don't understand why you want to do it here. Drug dealers, but this is what. People are stupid. For sure. Because drug dealers always wanted to go to the grimiest, the nastiest, just villainous places ever. The abandoned gas station. Yeah, like, I'm like, why are we here at the abandoned gas station? You're about to sell me a gram of weed. Why? Why are we in these back roads right now? Like, crazy, bro. And the police just hang out there. they just hang. That's literally their spot. They just hang around in places like that. Just wait for these dumbasses to come over here. We're just gonna pick them right up. It's wild, right? There were way too many times where we were stuck. I would tell you that we would be stuck in like a dead. We would drive to a dead end. a dead end. So, but listen, then we would hotbox the car. Crazy. We would drive the car into a dead end to where we have to reverse back out or just make a quick U-turn like it's like a cul-de-sac and come back out. So it's a dead end, and we're hotboxing the car. So if anyone pulls up on you, you're caught automatically. You're so guilty. You are guilty. Like you're the dumbest of drug dealers and users. Yeah, that's just what it was.
Yeah, no, I've done plenty of
so I get it. So, you know, certain sketchy things, other things not. That's kind of like, so when Nick was on here, where he was talking about how he feels weird about being at a bar and speaking to people.
Yeah.
But I was like, bro, that's sort of that sketchiness that like I'm about. Like having, because maybe we get to a point in technology where people don't really at all, like 50 years from now, people really don't fuck with each other. Mm-hmm. I mean, as far as just talking to people out, right? Like there've been way too many harassment suits and there's just, it's just weird. People don't really like to talk. They're also awkward and losing the art of communication. So they don't know how to talk to each other in like 50 years. Let's just say that. And then everything's through like a Tinder, Hinge, Bumble sort of situation. Like everybody goes through that. One, that's just a weird ass. That's a really weird ass place to be at. But a lot of the risk is taken out. Is my point. Like it would be more of the convenience, but some of the risk of going out and like having to be at a bar or at a party or you at wherever the fuck you at, and you want to speak to someone and just going over and making conversation in a respectful way, and it working or not working or whatever like that. That's one of those things that I feel like it would be cool to have as we move on in the technological age, is still go out and just have that sort of risk, like the writing the notes and getting it across. That's the type of risk I want to keep. That's all. That's my take.
No, I enjoy that. I like that. Yeah, I think that's very important. My mom has always been a very crafty person, so she was always giving people notes and writing letters and sending postcards, and I've always enjoyed that about her. And I definitely used to do it, which is funny, a lot when I was younger.
Or send postcards?
Yeah, just send people letters, like stopping by my friend's house, dropping anything off of their little mailbox, whatever.
Oh, I may have. Oh, now that you say that, I may have dropped some stuff off it. Yeah, looking at that baby again, it just reminds you that we all came from that, you know?
I know.
And I'm like, yo, like we went through all these stages, you know, running around as a kid, dropping mail or whatever the fuck in the mailbox, or just running up, knocking on people's doors. Can so-and-so come out to play? Mm-hmm. Whatever, all those things happened, and now you're 31 and you're having your own child. It's crazy.
That's insane.
It's very, very crazy. It's like, yeah, like we went through all of those things.
And now you're going to watch this little human go through their own stages. That's amazing. That's why I told them yesterday. I was like, that's my favorite thing in the world. It's just knowing little kids from a young age and seeing them grow into their own person. That is, it's completely mind-blowing.
Yeah.
To see them mold into their own little person and their own ways.
Right, their own ideas that they... Yep. Yeah, that they stick to and what they fight for.
It's amazing.
Oh, man. Yeah, and then probably some more weird shit is just seeing you and them. You know, like some of the small things they're doing, be like, oh shit, like, oh, I know about that.
Right.
Like, oh man, like they're gonna have a rough time with it trying to figure that one out.
And something I think we were,
but then there's like the newer models of you. So then in certain ways, like they be better.
They are better.
You be looking at them like, damn, like I didn't get that one until I was 17. Like this motherfucker figured it out at 6. Like,
boy, I see my friend's daughter Ashley Milani. And the way that she has mastered the use of an iPad since she was like 4 years old, it's really amazing.
Oh, she don't give a shit about nobody or nothing when she got that iPad in her hand.
Nope, she's good. But you know what's funny? She's always listening.
Oh, right.
It's amazing because I'll test her too. Like I'll say something and like I'll curse because I know that she always calls me out for it, or I'll talk about something that she enjoys. She's like, I heard that. I was like, I know. Because I said that on purpose, Milani. Like, you are always listening. And she's been on the iPad by this point, maybe 45 minutes. Yeah. Like this one thing in the middle that I threw in there she heard.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's kind of crazy that people think that kids don't listen.
Oh my God. It doesn't make any sense.
That's kind of wild. They must, I think maybe that stems from them telling them things that they need to do,
right?
And them defying them, so they're just like, kids don't listen,
right?
But it's like, the kid just didn't want to do that thing.
Yeah, like, but I've been listening.
He heard you, like,
exactly,
yeah, loud and clear. Yeah, that's
very funny. Yeah, no, kids are fascinating.
Damn, watching one grow up from scratch. Yeah, and watching your relationship with them change as they get.
Yes,
it's like seeing my relationship change with my father over time has been insane. Crazy. It was just not this. It was just not this. That's amazing. It was just, I used to piss him off. It was not a fun time raising me. It just wasn't. I was just too rebellious. God damn, I just wanted to do what I wanted to do. Yeah, man. But seeing me grow and truly adopt principles and stick to those and learn how to articulate all the fucking thoughts that I have and feelings that I have, and then just building off conversations with them, it's completely different. I would have never thought when I was fucking 13, 14, I'm just like, man, I fucking hate this motherfucker, man. Like, right. Fucking hate this fucking dude, man. Like, he don't want me to fucking live, man. Like, fuck this nigga. I swear to God, I'm gonna punch this nigga in the face, man. And then I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna run away. Right. I definitely had a runaway thought.
I had it all the time.
Everybody.
And then I would get so mad. I'm like, damn, where am I gonna go? Like, I'm so upset about the fact that I don't have a backup plan.
Yo,
every time
people really had these thoughts of just like, I'm just gonna run away.
It's like, where?
It's so romantic of an idea. Like, I'm just gonna run away and they're gonna wish that they never treated me this way. And I'm gonna go off with my fucking little bag on a stick and just have an adventure. That's the way it looked back when you were a kid.
For sure.
You fucking read stories and these kids. Did you ever read Boxcar Children?
No, I don't. Boxcar Children?
I believe that's what it was called.
I don't believe so. I've never heard of that before.
Hold on. No. Hold on, because you're not about to do that right now. Hold on, because you're making it sound like...
You know what's funny? It's because...
Yeah, okay. I was about to say, you're not going to make me seem like I'm fucking crazy.
No, it's because
you came in Puerto Rico.
Yes, and I was... Did you ever hear of Belinda? She's a Mexican singer, actress, sort of like a Lindsay Lohan, but Mexican.
Nah.
But so she was really famous, and she had a lot of TV shows out. So I was watching stuff like that growing up. I wasn't watching American Relics.
No. Okay, I'm sorry, but this isn't. Well, okay. So first of all, it's a book.
Oh, the place.
See, so the Boxcar Children is a children's book series originally created and written by the American first grade school teacher Gertrude Chandler Warner. Damn, you don't fuck with Gertrude.
No, she just did not deliver to Puerto Rico. No.
Today, the series includes nearly 160 titles, with more being released every year. The series is aimed at readers in grades 2 through 6. All right, the Boxcar Children tells the story of 4 orphan children: Henry, Jesse, Violet. Why you laughing at all the wrong things?
Because that's kind of funny that you're reading about the orphan children.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, 4 orphan children: Henry, Jesse, Violet, and Benny Alden. They create a home for themselves in an abandoned boxcar in the forest. Oh. They eventually meet their grandfather, who is a wealthy and kind man, although the children had believed him to be cruel. The children decide to live with the grandfather, who moves the beloved boxcar to his backyard so the children could use it as a playhouse. Oh.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah.
That's quite the story.
Yeah, I didn't remember all that sort of shit, but what I did remember was that there were some kids living in a boxcar out somewhere in the woods. I didn't know about that. And so, again, it was romanticized as a kid.
Wow.
When you read things like that. I'm like, well, fuck it. Like, I just got done with reading the 4th series of this motherfucking Boxcar Children. Henry and Jesse Violet can do it. Benny can do it. I'm out here. I'm about to find me a fucking boxcar in the woods. Like, that's how you think about things when you're a kid.
That's crazy.
I mean, in general, as a human being, you just take from what you know and try to apply it to any situation that you're in. So when you were a kid, what do you know? I know Boxcar Children. I know.
That's funny.
I know fucking Aladdin, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's the best. And that's what they were talking about hilarious. In that documentary is the creativity of children.
Oh, yeah.
It's just amazing.
Oh, yeah. No, that's because
they're seeing everything kind of for the first time.
Yeah. Are you kidding me?
It's amazing.
Like that's what I'm saying. I don't, that's why I don't believe that that you come into this world and there's just some people just out any artistic, any creative bone in their body. It's like, what are you talking about?
Right.
It may have been dimmed through the ages, but when you came here, there was some shit going on in your mind that we couldn't even understand, right? Like I could never fathom, again, what is going on in that young consciousness, like in that, I just don't know. But it's some stellar shit. I'm certain of it.
For sure.
I'm certain of it. And that's just creation again and again and again and again and again and again. Like constantly creating and things morphing and changing. Again, I don't know what it looks like, but there's no other way for me to be able to conceptualize it other than just a frequent influx of just pure, unconfined, unbridled stimulation.
Right.
I just don't know how else you could really describe it. But you have some creative bones in your body.
Oh, for sure.
Like you have some imagination. Because you just may not have learned how to hone it, right? How to harness the power of it. But it's there somewhere. It just makes sense for that to be the case. And I've spoken to too many people, Nick again being one of them, just in the last week, about having maybe not feeling artistic. That's another thing. Like maybe you acknowledge that you're an artistic person, but you don't feel
you're feeling off
creative, for a span of months or so like that. Just like I just haven't felt like it. I've felt more analytical, like that's been my steez. But everybody's got it. Everybody's got something.
I agree.
That's what you've been trying to stir up your, creativity.
Yes, I was just thinking about that.
How do you feel about it? Do you feel like you've been speaking more artistically or been coming up with more? Well, I mean, I'll just let you go.
I guess I've just been experimenting with thinking more. It's something that I'm not very good at. I wasn't really properly taught how to critically think.
So how do you experiment with it?
Well, just even having the thought to sit with an idea to try to go further into it. That was just something that I couldn't even remember to try to do. And it's something that I can, if something really sparks my interest or is something that I have to figure out, I tried my best to do it on my own. And then if I really can't get anywhere with that, then I maybe reach out to you or someone else for maybe some further insight. But
yeah.
But yeah, no, it's definitely been a process, but smoking has definitely been a bit helpful in that. That was difficult to accept in a way. Because I wanted to be able to access that on my own, but it seems that is not possible for me at the moment.
Well, let's reframe this.
Okay.
Let's reframe this. We are human beings that are mostly things that we are consuming and digesting in one way or another, whether they be ideas or the food, right? Like things that we intake.
Right.
Like that's what makes our body, that's what makes our mind, our person, like all this sort of stuff. It's just impressions and food. So we're always taking from the earth, right? Like we're not we are impressionable beings. Like, we're not just doing our own thing. And so I don't think that people wanting to smoke weed or have a drink, you know, or whatever it is, you know, these things, you take supplements, right? Like, it's kind of the same thing. Like, you just use it supplementarily, right? And then it helps you to do that next thing. I've told you this before. Stretching whilst high is a completely different experience.
It really, really is.
For me, like, you just feel, especially, it's like certain ones for me, like lower back. Like, if I hinge at the waist, whether I'm standing up or I'm sitting down, I'm going to feel like that hamstring pull. But then once you hinge far enough, then it's just at the lower back. So then that lower back starts to stretch. And I can get lost, as I've told you, in a lower back stretch. I can get lost. I'll sit there, and I'm supposed to be doing these for like 5 minutes at a time. I'll sit in that thing and like close my eyes, and I have some music playing in the background, and then I'll like open them and be like, oh shit, like, I've probably been sitting here for like 9 minutes. You know what I mean? And then just move over. So it's, you know, I don't think that it's a handicap, because I think that's kind of what you're going through. Is like, it's a handicap that you feel like you have to use this thing in order to spark some creativity. But what I'm saying is we're always taking in impressions and things from the earth around us.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I guess what I more so should have specified is that I also don't like the fact that I'm inhaling a lot of smoke.
Okay, that's a different thing.
Yeah, that's more so what I was speaking of. Yeah, I'm fine with something that helps me get to a different place, because I can do it in moderation. That was really another concern. Is, am I just going to smoke?
And just smoke.
And just do that.
Just smoke, yeah.
Because I can get pretty excessive, and being sober for a little bit and taking breaks here and there, that was helpful from these substances. But yeah, no, it definitely feels a lot more fun to try to settle down and work with my mind. And I'm definitely accessing things on my own that I wasn't able to when I wasn't doing this. So that definitely has been fun for me.
Yeah, it's crazy. That was, you know, in one of those scenes in the How to Change Your Mind docu-series. Maybe is that what it would be called? Docu-series. Yeah. Some of these dudes, when they were giving LSD, and they were just sitting there like, oh, yeah. It's just, he was like, sir, can you describe what you're feeling to us right now? Please, like, try your very best to describe. He's like, what can I say? He's just like, please, sir, just try to describe what you're feeling. I can't. Oh my god.
Like, that could have happened, but
what the point is he was, some shit had been unlocked for him.
Sure.
And he was feeling something he didn't have words for.
He was just lost in it. So, you know, we're here, and a lot of our pride is the devil, right? A lot of our pride does have to go, right? I understand when people try to use it in a dignified manner. Right.
We just also have to call a spade, and like, being too proud, it can definitely drag you down or not allow you to open your mind up to certain things that would have gotten you to other places. I definitely believe in that. You gotta stay open. I just think you gotta stay open.
Yeah, no, that has been something I've always struggled with as well. It's just seeing the gray area in certain places.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more of a black and white thinker, which is not something I enjoy that I do.
Yeah.
It's just, for some reason, where my mind takes me immediately, and it just takes a moment to break away from that. But once, like, I can see the gray area, it's like, oh, this does make a bit more sense.
Well, that's one of the things that I remember distinctly taking place during my first trip.
Yeah.
Was I felt that gray area spectrum open up to me, where again, my ego had dropped out of it, so I had no horse in the race again, no dog in the fight. I don't care if I'm right, if what comes out of my mouth is right, or if it's wrong. It's whatever. And then I remember I was hanging out with a dude that had like a crack pipe on the dresser, and I just remember thinking, if I wasn't under this influence right now, I think I would be judging this guy.
Right.
Like, I'm pretty certain I'd be like, yo, I got to get the fuck out of here right now. But because I was in the state, I was able to see what my old perspective would have been. But then at the same time, look at it with fresh eyes and be like, oh, but he's just like playing video games with this dude that I came here with and this other chick. Like, it was just people in a room. And at that moment, I thought, oh, is this what's always happening and I don't see it? That it's just people in a room, like we're all just here. Like, no one's worse than anyone else. Like it all, like that whole frame just got completely shattered. And it's like, oh, we're just all here together.
Right.
Like, no one here is any better than anyone else. No one's any worse. He smokes crack because when he's smoking crack, like, that's when he's a crack smoker. When he's picking up crack and smoking crack. And when he's not, he's just this dude playing video games with these guys. You know what I mean? So it was just, it shattered that. And and also, because I definitely have to say this, is staying open to, again, the creative side. Mm-hmm. So the analytical had me reading a lot of analytical type books, right? Very informational, heavy. And then also reading novels and keeping that open for myself from these great, beautiful literary pieces that open up your mind to things. And as I've said a million times before, third person omniscient,
right? Where
the narrator knows everything about everything going on, and they can show you all these different perspectives that are taking place in the book. So you're just forced to see this grand story and all of the intricacies of all of the different people, and this thing that was said over here and how that comes back later in the story. And everyone plays such an integral part, and everyone has their own very unique perspective on what's taking place. And when you get those perspectives, you can disagree with people, but you get it though.
Right.
You get it. And so when you just have that idea or have that perspective presented to you over and over and over again, it helps the ideas just settle in on your consciousness that, oh, this isn't just my story and there are a bunch of people around me too. Like, it's one of these things. It's one of these deeply netted networks, pretty much. It's one of those deeply netted webs where everything is happening all the time and everything ricochets and domino affects the next thing. It's just all fucking connected in some weird way. But I am not in the center of this, and I am not always right.
Right. That's very important.
Yeah.
Very important.
It just opens you up. So but that psychedelic trip was, I just remember sitting like on a beach at the end, I think, like towards the end.
Oh, wow.
Or like a dock or something like that, and looking out at the water and like a sunset and thinking, this may have very well been the best day of my life. Like, I remember thinking that to myself. I think this may have been the best day of my life because I knew that I had been on the cusp of something for a very long time and I needed out of it. And that was it. Like, that's what broke me out. And I was like, okay.
You truly understood it.
Yes, like, I knew I was supposed to be looking at the world in some different way. I just didn't know how to, like, calibrate. I didn't know how to adjust. But I definitely, I can't wait to continue. There are only 3 more episodes to watch, but they're all an hour long, so I'm excited about them.
You know, something I thought as well is that I think I definitely should and would like to reread the book.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I
still have it around here somewhere. I
bought it on my Kindle, so I definitely have it. Yeah, I think it would do me plenty of good to read that information where I am now versus where I was when I read that. I think that was in the middle of quarantine, which is very cool, but I think I might gain a lot more from it now.
And you're not done with The Comfort Crisis yet by Michael Easton?
No. I am like 3/4 of the way done.
Great. Also a great book.
Phenomenal.
All of these are great books. He masterfully made that book.
He really did.
Being able to take you, like weave you in between all of this science and all these experiments, their experiences that he's had with these, I mean, just brilliant people in all of their different domains, and then tell you this riveting story that he's on simultaneously out in, where is he, in Alaska? Is he in Alaska?
Yeah, he's in Alaska.
Going through like some 30-day excursion. Yeah, it was the whole 30-day excursion, I believe.
Yeah, it was a whole month.
Out there hunting caribou with, what's that guy's name?
Donnie Vincent.
Donnie Vincent, yeah.
The coolest dude in the world, easily.
So, yeah, that's another one of those awesome books.
He's also a phenomenal author in the sense that he gives you a lot of information and you're going on such an odyssey with him. But I never feel like I'm getting lost or overwhelmed with all the facts and dates and the people, because he's already interviewed like 5 or 6 different professors or doctors. Yeah. And he's only like week 2 into the journey.
No, he does a really good job of relaying that information.
No, he does. Yeah,
in a way that one, you can understand.
Exactly.
And 2, is also entertaining on top of it.
And very informative.
Yeah. I
really enjoy everything that he's bringing.
Yeah, it really just, going back to the convenience of the technology, we have gotten so comfortable
very much
in so many ways, and we don't even know. And there's just something riveting and immediately gratifying, I think, well, maybe for myself, about doing rigorous things.
Yeah.
About doing things that challenge you. The misogis, right? The things that you just pop up every few months or maybe once a year and just do something insanely difficult that you've never done before. Yeah. It's crazy. He was talking about like the amount of money that people would save on food if they knew, all the food facts, what it is that they actually need to be eating versus what they do eat. Where most people put their thermometer, depending upon the time of year and how they use so much more heat and so much more air than like that they really have to, and just scaling that back a bit and being in a bit more discomfort and how much money it would save you over time and stuff like that. It's a very interesting book. The Comfort Crisis.
No, that's
kind of crazy.
It's one of those things that I feel like should be a staple in everybody's homes.
Yeah, it's a really good book.
It's very good. And it's just one of those beautiful books that are just completely non-biased. And literally just inform you and just tell you about their experience.
Yeah, it doesn't at all have the feeling that he's trying to like cram an ideology
you any which way. It's like this is what has been given to me. This is what I have figured out.
Yeah, no, it doesn't sound like that.
Yeah,
at all.
It's beautiful. It's definitely, I think, a must read for everybody.
Yeah. Okay, so you got that, and then you're gonna try to get back to How to Change Your Mind.
Yeah, and I definitely, it's been a long time since I've read a novel, so I'm still wanting to do that.
Okay. And are you looking to do it just there came a time when you liked novels, aside from Harry Potter?
Yeah. Yes.
Harry Potter was the one. You liked that, didn't you?
Well, I did, but not only did I like Harry Potter, I read it when I was like 19 for the first time because I wasn't allowed Harry Potter growing up.
Oh, so you just read the Harry Potter books?
Yes. It's not just because it's Harry Potter. It's because it just happened like 7 years ago. And I'm 26
Oh, yeah,
now.
that's pretty new still.
Yeah. Yeah, people grew up with this. I just found out.
Yeah, see, so you got the shock later. You like, oh my God, Harry. Like, you didn't know what happened.
No.
Oh, so see, if you had grown up in the age, it would have been ruined for you. If you didn't get onto it at that moment, then it would have been like, you would have been hearing about it. People would have been talking about the movie, social media, whatever the fuck. But because you came so late, you weren't interested in it until that point in time.
I was never around it.
So yeah, by that point in time, everyone's done talking about it.
Yeah, no,
you're
going have children now.
So you're going through it completely by yourself. Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah, no, it was definitely very late in life. But no, I've always enjoyed novels, and I'm not reading them because I don't enjoy them. I just haven't made time for them.
That's what it is.
That's really it. So I would really like to interact with a novel and see what I get from it.
Yo, time is a motherfucker. Like, it just moves. It just keeps going. It's
amazing. Honestly,
it just keeps going, and
it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like again, when was the last time that you felt like you were trying to fill time? Like, oh my gosh, like I gotta do something.
That feels so foreign to me, and it had to be like pre-quarantine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it has to be then, but that also feels like such a lifetime ago because my life is the opposite of that.
Yeah,
I'm like, my God, like the day is over. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I was what a day is today? Thursday?
Today is Thursday.
On Tuesday, I think you were also at work, and I went down to the cafeteria to see what was for lunch, and I was like, tacos again? I was like, we just had tacos. Like, they never do Taco Tuesday, like, back to back. And she's like, it's Taco Tuesday. I was like, whoa. It's Tuesday again? Because I don't really think of days. Like, I have to go to work every day. Like, I'm just going to work, and then
you just pop up at work. Like, Mama, you're not on the schedule. I'm here. I'm here.
Well, like, I know that Wednesday and Thursday are my day off usually. And I know when that's coming. But I was like, oh, it's Tuesday. I'll just go down, and it was Tuesday again, but it had just been a whole week because I just vividly remembered the last Taco Tuesday.
That's crazy.
Like, in my mind, like, I had just eaten tacos.
You was a whole 6 days off.
Well, I was saying, yeah, man, it was crazy.
Because you thought that we had the tacos the day before. Yeah,
or like a day or two.
And it had a day or two, and it had been an entire week.
Yeah, really? Okay. It's crazy. Yeah, no, but time is crazy. And that's, as you always bring up, truly is boredom.
Oh, yeah.
Boredom is mind-blowing to me. And I think, was it in the pod with Nick that you were speaking of boredom with rich people?
Yeah. Nick was saying he just didn't want to be, he said he'd much rather be poor, like dead poor and like happy.
Yeah.
You know, just spending the little bit of money he does have on enjoying himself, rather than be bored and rich. I don't think that you have to pick either one of those.
I was going to say, I don't know if I want to be poor,
but he said, yeah, it was like the poor part was a little strong, but it's like, I think I understand what you're saying.
Yes.
Yeah, like you want to be able to just live
like right at your means.
Yeah, like right there. Like,
and I could do that, but I don't know about poor.
Like, you can eat most days out of the week.
Well, maybe even that sounds a bit poor. You know?
Okay, you can eat all days out of the week.
No vacations.
Pay your bills. No vacations. And you can fill up on your vape liquid.
I don't know if that should be part of your priorities list.
What are you talking about?
I don't know if that, like, so... All right.
Yeah.
So there's no emergency fund, but there's vape liquid?
Well, because the thing is this. If you're stuck in a position where you're really trying to make something work,
okay,
you don't want to drive yourself crazy doing it.
You're right.
So you may need one thing,
right?
You know, something to shake it up a little bit. You can't just be just paying bills, just going to work.
You're right. That's miserable.
Yeah.
You're right.
There's got to be something.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when college kids, you pick up a cigarette, pick up an Adderall, you know, it's just like, I gotta do something. Like, something's gotta happen. I can't just be running around here doing all this work.
That's crazy.
Something's gotta happen. I gotta go out. I gotta go out to the party. I gotta fuck.
That's why all those celebrities turn the way that they do if they start out so young.
Man.
Because they gotta do something. They're doing so much.
You know what's funny is I don't know if I've ever expressed this to you, but I really feel like I have. Well, no, this would just make sense of who I am. I really do have a soft spot for the celebrities, in the sense that when people just say, "Oh, fucking shut up, boo-hoo," like you go fucking cry into $1 million, you big piece of shit, crybaby. I'm like, you don't know. Yeah, did their experience put them in a position that we maybe sometimes stupidly revere, that is really just on a screen somewhere or through some speakers, and because of that you're a fucking fool for them. But they're still a human. And they got to go through the same shit everyone else is going through. But now their circumstances are completely different. You know, we can make friends, and we know for the most part when people are popping up with ulterior motives. Like, it just seems like some weird energy. Like, what are you doing around here? But for the most part, if people are trying to get to know us, we can be pretty secure that they want to get to know us and hang out with us. Immediately, once you become a celebrity, you're famous, got a ton of money, you can't just assume that anymore. Right. You can no longer really give that benefit of the doubt. Or maybe you can. Let me not say you can't, but I would see it being reasonable for someone to not give that benefit of the doubt. Like, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of new people around me. Like, I don't. So everything is different. You can't just be out places. People might, fucking swarm you. You didn't say the right thing to someone.
That's crazy, man. That is so crazy. Yeah. I told you about that Keke Palmer story.
Yeah.
Like, she's just chilling at the bar and they're harassing her. She's like, man, please, like, I'm just trying to eat my wings and drink a beer, man. Like, I don't know if that's actually how it went, but something along those lines. And then she's just calling her names, I think, and just recording her and harassing her.
Yeah, it's
like, I don't want nobody to talk to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. It is a different life. Like, you don't get to live the normal life of a human being. But some people find a way to do it. But I've also talked about there being like this sweet spot.
That gets funky too, though.
What does?
Well, I think there's a certain authenticity and genuineness about just being a regular person and having interactions with strangers that I don't know if that's being able to be had when you're a celebrity and you're kind of a household name.
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's just how many people are around, and like, is this about to turn into a whole thing? Like, if I'm out somewhere and there's like a mechanic working on my car or something like that, and I'm a huge celebrity, like, I could have a conversation with you. It's just us. Like, you can ask me for pictures or whatever you want. Like, we still gonna have a conversation. But if I'm at the mall, I can't just pull up to the mall and someone trying to have a conversation, because now I'm inviting everyone to come, and like, every time I go out, I wouldn't want that to be the case. So I just think that you just got to learn how to move differently. You can't, you have to sort of trust differently or just read differently. You just have to learn how to read differently, read people. And it gets weird, but I definitely feel for them.
Yeah, no, I definitely haven't always felt that way, but just seeing whatever drama pops up about them on the news, it's like, oh, that kind of sucks. Like, that whole thing with Kim and Kanye, all the things that they went through, him acting a fool and harassing her, and
with Pete Davidson.
It's like, damn, like, at the end of the day, that's really like a mom of 4 children, and her children's father just acting a fool in front of the world. Like, that must suck. Like, you can't hide. Like, and you have to face this.
Yeah, but to be someone like a Kim Kardashian, she has tough skin.
You have to.
She has super tough skin. She's had everything said about her.
She said, she has a sex tape out.
Yeah, forever. Bro, she's been living this for a long time. I don't think you can very easily just get at her.
No, you have to be tough. But that just still sucks that you have to deal with that. Mm-hmm. Like, that must be really difficult.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, whether you're tough or not, it's not fun.
Yeah, just the fact that people can't have fights or get divorced or live their life or drop their kids off at school.
Well, like a normal person. This again, I don't want to cut off these more normal and civil ways of living from celebrities as if they cannot achieve it. I think that they can. It's just you fucking with Kanye, so no, that's not gonna happen.
Well, right? See, like, exactly. You're right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's just
if you was fucking like Michael B. Jordan, Michael B. probably wouldn't do this. He probably like leave you alone. You know what I mean? Or whoever, you just pick a humbler guy. Like,
I love that you brought up Michael B. Jordan.
I don't know. I just picked another black dude. That doesn't. But you just pick a humbler guy, and maybe you wouldn't. It wouldn't go there. That's. You know,
you're right,
like, and it's not like
there has to be some accountability.
And I'm certain that there have not been things that Kanye didn't want out there that like Kim put out there because she's a part of the fucking world,
right?
You know what I mean? So I'm certain that they've both capitalized off of each other's careers.
Yeah, before. I think that was a big part of it. Probably,
but, of course, but you're right. Yeah, because those are like real partnerships are businesses at the end of the day.
Right. This is some sort of treaty.
Yeah. And we talked about this. We said that it takes very special people to pull that off, to run a business together and be together at the same time.
It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, like you have to, because first of all,
there's just so many conversations.
There's it's so multi-layered,
and you have to be in sync.
Yeah, because you have. Assuming you have a staff, like something that works for you, if you're like actually running a real business with your significant other. So you have a bunch of people under you. Y'all have to come together as a unified front in front of these other people. Because if not, then the top looks kind of broken. And not only are they questioning the character and the rigidity of their bosses,
right,
but also of the relationship of those two people. If they know you were married, it's like, that looks real shaky up there. So you're not doing good as a leader at that point. Then on top of that, how do you all interact within the business? And does that trickle into outside of the business? And does outside of the business trickle into inside the business? You know, like how do you, like the conversations that you have to have about that? Like it's very, very tricky, but there are a ton of conversations that have to take place in order for that to really, really work. That shit is deep.
Yeah, that's why I think.
But if you make it work though, oh shit, you'll be fired.
For sure.
If you make it work though, then you're fired.
I think people think that because this reminds me of marriage, if that's something that people are into, that you just get married and then you figure out how to be married.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's not that you figure out what marriage is going to be like before you do it. It's like, oh, like we can do this. All right. Like then, like if this is what we want to do, let's get married.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, oh, you're going to figure out how to be married after you sign the paper?
Oh, yeah.
And you're not even sure? Like, that's crazy.
I do believe that it is a continuance of education.
It is. No, I agree. But you have to figure out whether you're able to do it or not in the first place.
Yeah, I think it's difficult. I do agree with you. I don't think that enough people think enough about it.
Yeah.
But it also can be difficult to think how are we going to be communicating, or what do we look like 10 years from now? Like what do we look like 5 years from now? Yeah. 2 years from now, what do we look like? I think that can be difficult. I think this is because I like to deal with square roots, so I try to like get down to the fundamentals. Like I'm trying to get down to basic blocks of like how things work, and I feel like the most important thing I can think of is cooperation. I don't see how a business works. I don't see how any machine. Just think, you can look at it as a machine. You can look at it as a program. You can look at it as a business. I don't understand how any system, you could call it, works without cooperation between the codes, the cogs in the wheel, whatever it is, the people.
Right.
It has to be in some sort of synchronization. There has to be some sort of understanding in order for that thing to work. And that can only happen through cooperation. You have to be open to whatever my role is, whatever yours is, how they play off of one another. And if we can't have an understanding of what operating together looks like, then we can't move forward. We can't think that like that'll just solve itself. Like we can't move forward if we don't know what a civil, productive collaboration looks like between one another. Because if you can get that, if you can get that in trust, right? Because then that means that you can trust that this person is going to be open to cooperating. So the problems are going to come. The point is, fuck the problems. The problems come, the problems go. If you are both willing to cooperate.
Correct.
So it's really just a trust and cooperation that is, I feel like, the basic building block of making a system work.
No, I fully agree.
In any facet.
I fully agree. Yeah, that's, I think, the recipe for a solid foundation.
Right. Everything.
That's truly all that
then I agree, which is you'll figure the rest out. That after you have that, then I agree with what you were saying.
Thank you for essentially just putting that in the most eloquent way that could possibly be said. That is essentially what I'm trying to get at. Not that you're just going to figure it out, but that you're going to commit to the fact that, okay, we can both agree that we'll do our part.
Yeah, no, people don't do this shit.
Right. No. Because they're trying to figure that out after they've already committed.
Yeah, that's...
And then you figure out that I don't want to commit. Really don't like you.
Yeah, like I don't actually fuck with you.
You're dirty and you're rude.
Right.
And I didn't know that before. So
I should have sucked a bigger dick.
I love that part.
I'd rather fuck on your cousin.
That's a wild thing to say to somebody.
He said, "You gonna fuck who? You heard me, nigga. It's nothing."
It's crazy.
Yo, nigga and I clearly were talking about that.
I love that.
In your listen, no.
All right.
Because you think that every episode we're going to talk about the Kendrick Lamar album.
It's all we ever talk about
every single episode.
That's funny.
That the We Cry Together song, during that argument, you said that it was heavy to listen to. But also at the same time, even with its trauma, its built-in trauma, you think that there's something so fun and liberating.
Oh my God, I think it's the best thing in the world.
About just screaming complete nonsense at someone.
But I will say this, it's obviously mostly jokes, but as someone who has never come close to behaving in that manner, but has been so aware of it, I've seen it my whole entire life growing up. I've been around it. It's completely familiar to me.
Seeing one of those arguments is crazy. I've seen them. I don't give a fuck, motherfucker. I'll punch you in your motherfucking face. Yeah, whatever. I'ma just fuck me another bitch. Yes. Well, go and fuck you, that raggedy bitch then, nigga. Fuck you. Like, it's crazy.
So insane.
It's like... And then they're going to go to sleep together that same night.
Like, they're actually leaving the same car right now.
Right, for sure.
And just seeing that and seeing the energy that comes from that, and being the person that I am, that I just have never felt the need, the want, or even having the ability to act that way, but then listening to that song, it
captured something inside of you.
Sure did, because it's there. It's always been there, and I know that, but it's just never been triggered. And I was like, oh, this song might catch me. No, I'm kidding, but
nah, you're not. No, but you're not though. You're not kidding. No, you're not.
I am, because I'm never gonna act that way. No one can ever get that out of me. Like, no one could ever make me act that way.
All right. No. I was okay. All right. Because
there's nothing.
Okay, because you have to know that, one, it's you releasing it, you allowing that to come out, right? Because at the end of the day, you want to be the guard. Like,
exactly. Yeah, no one can get that out of me.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, okay, that's what you're saying. Like,
yeah, no one can get that out of me. But singing the song, because I've never just fake yelled at anyone before. So that was the first time I was able to release those emotions. Truly, I was like, wow. Like, it's like holding that baby. Like, I understood something that I hadn't before. Oh, because I've always wondered. I was like, why? And that's why this is so funny to me. And that's why it's so heavy, because this is so real. And to me, that is hilarious and terrifying at the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, people really behave this way?
Oh, for every
that
day.
Is so... Because I've seen it in public. And I know that obviously it happens behind closed doors everywhere all of the time.
It's crazy.
So just having those emotions released for the first time was a little powerful for me. I was like, oh, I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't condone it, but I feel you.
I think that's the same thing. I think I was trying to tell you this. It's the same thing as that demolition room that Mikey and I talked about. That you can go places and just get to smashing shit. Sure. Old DVDs and VCRs and TVs, just throwing shit against the wall, batting stuff, and give you a little mallet. Yeah, and you just go to town. I think it's the same thing. Like, you're just... It's what exercising is to some people. It's what martial arts is, boxing to some people.
Yeah, it's all of that.
Just, getting the shit out, screaming. Some people I think just go places and scream. Like, they'll just drive out somewhere and just scream.
Oh, I've done that.
Oh, see, is this when you wanted to run away? Was this one of these?
For sure. This was like, for sure.
Was it real romantic? Was it in the rain? Was it like... It
was just like outside and I'm facing the trees in my backyard and I'm fucking hate my life. Like, I can't believe they're doing... I don't even remember what for. But I just like remember just yelling into the forest. It's like, you guys can take it now.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's very funny.
That's funny.
To think about.
That's funny. I was definitely... I was definitely rebellious. I'm just thinking about some of the things. Some of the things. I remember Alexis. I think I told you, Alexis was at the bottom of the steps, and I don't know. That is the
best story ever.
And Allison was at the top, and I don't know where Alexis. She was so young. I want to say she had to be like 6 or 7. Like, she was very, very young.
That's crazy.
Maybe 6 or 7. So I don't know where she heard this word, but I think she was just like, "Yeah, Mom, like, you're such a fucking cunt," or something like that. Like, it just came out, and Allison's face changed up. Like, she looked at her like, "What did you?" And Alexis immediately started crying. I'm sorry. Like, she just knew that she knew that wasn't going to be the move. But yeah, we all had our times, and we just there were times I swear I'm pretty certain I put some shit out in the universe one time. I was just like, man, I wish this motherfucker just got hit by got hit by a car just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Somebody beat him up just a little bit.
Yeah, man, just like just like hit him with like the door, like drive by and hit him with the door.
I don't know about that. That seems a little aggressive. Maybe you weren't.
I'm just saying like 15 miles per hour.
Yeah. Okay, a little bump.
Yeah, like he gonna hit the ground, but he's not gonna be hurt. He doesn't have to go to the hospital or anything. He's gonna be just fine. Yeah, like I used to think of stuff like that. Yeah, especially after you get your ass whooped. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. You definitely want them to get their ass whooped. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to. No, I've tried to hit my mom back before when I was little.
I wasn't pulling that.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, there was just something about my mom that I felt like I could overpower her from a young age. Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah, I know, but your dad though, you can't just be like, Dad is always around. Like, Dad, I know. Even if it's wait till Dad get home from work, like Dad's gonna come home from work at some point in time. Like, fuck that shit. Yeah,
but yeah.
That shit was terrifying when you used to do some shit and you had to wait for your parent to come whoop your ass. Like,
I told you about the time that I had to wait. He told me at the store he was going to beat me, and then I had to wait the whole car ride home for him to beat me.
Oh, yeah, that's the type of shit I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. He was like wait till, we're in the store right now, and like, I'm not finna act crazy, but like, just wait.
Wait till you get home.
It's like, oh my God.
The whole car ride, I was like, Jesus Christ, please help me. Please help me.
It's like nothing else matters.
Yeah, my life is over.
It's like when you're sick. Like when you're sick now, nothing else matters but your health. Like wanting to get back to being healthy and making yourself all these promises about, all right, God,
never gonna skip the gym again ever in my life. I'm going to the gym
every single day. Forever. I'm gonna fucking stretch. I'm gonna just drink ginger shots. Like I'm just. But this was good though.
This is great. Thank you for
ginger, carrot, apple,
wonderful,
and pineapple. This was really good.
You have a wonderful way with making juices. Truly.
Ratios,
phenomenal. It's phenomenal.
Shout out to Tropical Smoothie for that training. Thank you. But you make all those promises to yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just kind of how it goes, man. It's all you can fucking think about. Like, yo, he's gonna tear my ass up when I get back to this house. Like, how bad is it gonna be? Like, why is he able to stay calm? Like, why is he in here just talking to the cashier like this?
You know what I always thought was funny about that is that my dad always looked. It's so funny because I feel like we feel way too comfortable talking about this and we're laughing about it.
Because it's abuse? Because it's child abuse? I feel like
this should be trigger warning what I'm about to say.
Oh, probably, yeah.
But that when my father used to sometimes beat me, I could see the sadness in his face from a young age.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, like, why would you do this? Yeah. My dad was, like, destroyed every time he beat me. But he would do it over and over again. I was like, why? Like, why would you keep doing this?
Because he doesn't know anything else.
I know. And getting older, I've only realized, like, wow. Like, you really have no idea how to regulate your emotions, and the only thing you could do was just hit me.
Yeah.
Crazy stuff.
Damn, that is crazy. You could see the sadness in his eyes. I told you that's why out of that song "Close" by J. Cole, as awesome as the entire song is, and that he's able to keep the same rhyme scheme through the entire song.
Amazing.
But when he says, "I looked in your eyes and saw hope." Right, hope for a better way to cope with the pain and the scars, and the lean and the coke.
Yep,
that is a very deep sentiment. This is another reason I'm going back on J. Cole too. This is another reason why I sort of advocate for his greatness in a sense, because it's not about the bars. Because I agree with the talk spaces I've been a part of, and I agree that his bars are not astronomical. It's not like they're hard to decipher, very, very complexly constructed like Kendrick sort of stuff. It's not as artistic, right? But it is masterful in the way that he does it.
He's a much better storyteller than a lot of other people.
But beyond that, exactly. It's the fact that he knows to even speak about things.
Exactly.
And then the way that he does, you feel it. Like he gives you the feeling through the story,
right,
or whatever it is he's talking about. But when he said that, I was like, yo, I have been becoming keener and keener to the expressions that people give me when I look into their eyes. And I've seen, as I've told you also recently, like the switch in someone's demeanor when they were talking to me when I had changed my demeanor. And I just saw it was like when I talked to you about code switching, it was like I changed their code.
Right.
It was like I was able to sort of look into their mind and change their code. And then they switched up the way that they were acting towards me. It was very, very fascinating.
Right, because you're still the same person.
Yeah, but it was it's very, very fascinating just thinking about the fact that that's even like a thing. Yeah, looking in people's eyes, and you gotta know how to do that. Like, you have to be able to look into people's eyes and accommodate, really, is what it is. That's a good word for it.
Okay.
Accommodate. Because you might be looking at someone that's kind of like maybe scared or intimidated, it looks like.
Oh, yes.
Or maybe they're trying their very best to listen. Like, they're one of those listeners that is like, when they start listening, they like overthinking listening. They're like, I gotta listen. So then they get caught up in some mantra. They're like,
then they're not listening.
So that's a deer in the headlights look is what I should call that. Bad intentions.
Right.
Like deceitful.
That's crazy being able to spot that one out.
Right.
That one feels so crazy.
But to be able to look into someone's eyes, and I've seen this before, which is awesome, and see that there is hope there. That they're not in the place that they want to be.
Right.
But you can see what they're talking to you about and how they're talking to you about it, and the fact that there's like it's corny as it seems, sort of like a gleam in their eye. Like they just feel like
a little bit, right?
Like some sort of hope. That is a deep feeling to see that in someone's eyes, especially when they're the type of person that's so proud they'll never talk about it.
Right.
They'll never talk about that hope of another way of doing something because they feel like it's stupid to say that. Mm-hmm. Like it's unrealistic. I might get made fun of for talking about this way of hope that I see for myself, this thing I want to do, this thing, my passion, whatever. And so you never talk about that thing, but to be able to see it as a friend in someone's eyes, like, I think that he has hope. I think that she has hope for another way to do this, but just doesn't know how to do it. I think that that's fucking crazy. But you being able to see the sadness in your father's eyes, that's pretty heavy. Yeah, I don't know if I caught that. I just caught fucking anger, a lot of anger. I didn't really see the sadness, although there was the remorse. The remorse always came. You know, the let's go get the ice cream, or let's go do something else. So yeah, I did. That's observe the remorse. Yeah,
that's definitely important as well.
Yeah, but you seeing the sadness in the nigga's eyes as he's swinging
every time.
That's crazy.
Yeah, there was one time that he, like, I think I was a teenager. Like, I was definitely way too much of a woman for him to be hitting me at this point. And I told him,
way too much of a woman.
Like, I'm way too old for you to be hitting me. But I don't even know what I did. I definitely was doing stupid stuff. That's for certain. But I don't remember exactly what. And he was, like, swinging at me with his hands to, like, slap me across the face. I was like, hit me.
Yeah. Oh,
And then he looked at me, and he was so sad and so angry at the same time. And I was like, oh, I got you. Because he didn't lay a finger on me again.
I got you.
Yeah, I was like, hit me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stand right here, and I'm not gonna do anything.
Bro, there's something, because I don't know shit, but there is something deep about eyes, man. Like, let's talk about, like, because I showed you, I have to look it up again. I showed you that caterpillar. I need to know, like, the name of this caterpillar.
Oh.
But the caterpillar, snake. Okay, so
no, that's crazy.
So let's see.
That face is insane.
Let's go to Earth Touch News.
Look at it.
No, you don't have to.
But let me look at it.
All right. So when we first laid our eyes on Darius, a serpent mimicking butterfly larva that camouflage skills that rival the ninja octopus. I gotta look at that too.
Wow.
Oh, I'm gonna definitely click on ninja octopus. We didn't think insects could get any snakier, but a new video of yet another mimic has us re-ranking the roster of invertebrate illusion masters. Yeah, y'all definitely have to look up.
Let me see.
Look up this fucking thing again. The serpent mimicking butterfly larva. Yeah, the dinosaur Darius. Yeah, this shit is crazy. But it's a caterpillar that puffs up, it blows up, and makes itself look like a fucking snake, like a snake's head. Which is insane that somehow this caterpillar found out that snakes are predators and that things are afraid of snakes. And so I'm going to puff myself up, I'm going to mimic a snake. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Right? And there's something about snake eyes that just freak people the fuck out. And that we can just see in the woods. For some reason, we can just lock on to snakes, right? Like, that's just embedded in us through fucking evolution. But just looking at, say, oh, do you remember that woman's name that's in love with chimps? Didn't she just die recently?
Oh, I don't think maybe Jane Goodall, but I don't know if she's.
Oh, so she may still be with us.
I know that she at least had an exhibition at the Smithsonian, like last year or in 2020. So,
and what is she exactly?
She's something along the lines of an expert on chimpanzee behavior. She's been doing this since she was like 20.
Yeah,
she's like 80 or 90 now, so a long time.
Right. Looking into the eyes of a chimpanzee,
oh my god,
is going to be different. Right? Like,
you're looking at a person.
Because you're looking at something that's weird. Like, they
have a consciousness.
It's like locked, like their eyes are locked on yours and they're looking at you and you're looking at it. And it's like there's some weird level of like, yes, exactly.
They're looking at you. They're like, I see
it's
you.
Recognition. I see you.
You're another person.
Yeah,
like you are not me.
Yeah, it's that's fucking insane.
Yeah.
You know, so it's just something about the eyes connecting straight to consciousness. Like it's something
I have shown
weird.
You that video, which is Jane Goodall.
Yeah.
That they're releasing a chimp, and this chimp knew Jane Goodall put in most of the work because he did not go off into the woods before giving only Jane Goodall a hug.
Yeah, no, that's
like the way he looked at her. Everyone was just completely astonished.
Yeah, no, it's pretty...
like he just knew like this is a person,
but
it's because of this person.
And that's what's so crazy about just like plants and wildlife, because you don't know what you don't know. So I had no idea when you were asking someone about a dog smelling the pheromones that a pregnant woman was like giving off, or the new scent of the baby.
Exactly.
And I was like, oh, that's the fucking thing. I was like, well, that kind of makes sense. It would be a thing. Like immediately I'm like with it. I'm like, okay, that makes sense. But the fact that the dog started laying on top of the belly and like curling up, I'm like, damn, that's such a deep relationship between owner and dog. Like that's like owner and pet.
It's crazy.
Like you are loving this thing before it even comes out into the physical realm out here. You know?
Like recognizing that it wasn't here and now it is.
Right.
Because you're not treating it like you did when it was in the womb. And
then again, I don't know how any other relationship could be any wilder, but a baby coming into the world with a new puppy. That's crazy and stuff. Them growing together.
Your best friend?
Yeah, like that's insane.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's super cool.
That's insane.
That is the coolest thing in the world.
If there were like two children, there was like 1 and 2, and then a new puppy, that'd be crazy. Like that's a wild upbringing. It's a very particular like experience.
That must be a lot of fun.
I guess it could. I'm certain there have been moments where it hasn't been, but it has like some of the makeup to be a really good time.
It could go awry, but
man, eyes are crazy. I feel like because when you hear about shark eyes or bear, like grizzly bear eyes, it's like those are different now.
I can't even imagine.
It's like those are like lion, bear, shark. It's like now you're looking into something that's like it's. Just imagine it's like you're only... Maybe this is something you could actually imagine, because you actually say this about creepy-ass dudes, and I hear a lot of women say this about creepy-ass dudes, it's just like eat.
I don't like that feeling,
like
man.
You're prey.
That is a scary feeling.
You are food. You know, like that look. Like there is no compassion beyond these eyes, like behind these eyes. It's just eat or be eaten. Right, like the mentality.
Only thing I will say about that, I've only felt that my life could potentially been in danger. Not that it ever has been. So I think that's the only switch that would be different.
Well, it has been that you know of.
Well, you're right. Yeah, that I know of. It's only been potential for me because it's been in the daylight, and I've tried to be careful.
Remember when that dude on Twitter, I told you, he said he had a question. It was like, what was the time you came closest to death or something like that? And my answer to it was, I don't think that a lot of people, some people probably know more than others. It was like, it was that time that guy put the gun to my head. But I think a lot of the times people don't know just how close they were to some danger, but just for whatever reasons, for whatever sets of factors that took place, you weren't a part of it. Whether it was a car accident or a fucking shooting or whatever, or just a disgruntled human being just traveling around ready to slap somebody or try to rob them or whatever the fuck. Yeah, I don't think that people usually know. So I'm just saying, if you've been through a lot of sketchy situations, then there's probably a very good chance that you were in danger a lot of the time.
Well, it feels like it because again, it's very weird to just experience that living your normal life. Like I'm just like at the gas station, like I'm just living my life, and someone's looking at me like I'm prey, and I can only do so much, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah,
I can only do so much to protect myself.
Yeah, man. Eyes give it away.
So
you have to be someone.
I'm constantly looking around everywhere all the time.
Yeah. I also believe in giving people privacy. So that doesn't mean like when I'm having a conversation with you, I'm just locked in your eyes and I won't look away, right? Because I'm not doing that. Yeah. Like, you gotta learn how to like look away, and give some people their privacy, right? But the eyes, man, you gotta look at people's eyes. You got to look at the eyes of things. They be giving stuff away sometimes.
They definitely do.
You just got to look at the eyes. It's so uncomfortable though for so many people.
Yeah, and that's why you see a lot of people that are blatantly obviously not paying attention because their mind is on another million different things and they're just looking everywhere.
Yeah.
They don't even make eye contact. And they don't even realize that they've been looking away the whole entire time.
All right.
That's
where are we at?
crazy.
I think we're good to go. Yeah, this has been nice.
Where are we at?
This what you want to do? You want to hit a marker?
No, I just want to... No, you didn't say.
Oh, we're at hour 34.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, how you feel?
No, this was very nice.
Yeah, this was fun. Little, just knock this out real quick.
Yeah.
We were going to have a conversation regardless, so it was like, let's just go ahead and just record it.
No, this was very nice.
Yeah.
We covered a lot of things
I think so.
that I enjoy.
I think so.
So this was very good.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for having me. Thanks. Wonderful.
What's your
www.borinquenbotanicals.com
and also on Instagram.
And also on Facebook.
Yeah.
Find me on there.
I'll throw all that stuff in the description yet again.
No, this is very nice. Thank you very much.
You have any last words for the people? Miss Von Maria.
Oh, Miss Von Maria or Maria.
Yeah, or just
Von Mary, Von whatever you want to call me. I guess
you got some wild stuff. Francesca.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, man, just try to figure some things out. Just try to figure some issues out because there's probably a solution available. You're just not being able to see it.
That's funny.
That's kind of what I got.
All right.
Have a beautiful day, everyone.
I love you guys. Bye.
Goodbye.
Episode 129.
All right.
Woo! Peace, everybody. Peace.